Good morning, Toronto. During pandemic, in order to cope with anxiety, I started reading graphic novels. Looking back, I have always used creative arts to deal with stress and anxiety, starting from doodling to painting, and was fascinated by the therapeutic effects art has to offer. In India, mental illness is still a taboo. Captivated by the therapeutic power of comics and to help spread the joy of learning and sharing the knowledge, I committed to doing my research in the area of graphic medicine, specifically pathography. The inability to access medical humanities texts, particularly those focusing on mental health in India, prompted me to connect with Melanie. Invisible disabilities are any disability of the mind and body, soul and self. I analyze graphic medical narratives that focuses on the illnesses of the mind, which can be read as experience of illness narrated through the autobiographical self. Here, the gendered invisibility of pain is foregrounded through Bruce's metaphor of fish and then cone. Phony instead uses grey fog and drowning pools. These metaphors express depression and question the idea of pathography as a genre that explores both invisible and physical visible disabilities. Even when critics argue that autobiographical reconstruction is associated with a new identity, I argue that it is the memory of the illness experience of the author which is revisited, and a select set of events, therapy, treatments, thoughts, and emotions are retrospected in the pathographical narrative. Our aim is to dismantle the notion of visible disability and to analyze how drawing vulnerabilities can often be a cathartic process. Now, Melanie will take us through her viewpoint on invisible disability from a librarian's and cartoonist's angle.
So I was on reference duty and I get this chat from a graduate student in India. I was in Indiana, and Varsha was researching gender and graphic medicine. She stumbled on a LibGuide I made around 2015, and soon this virtual meeting began, a wonderful mentor being mentored by the student connection. Building on our campus's common experience theme on Alice Wong's disability visibility, we wrote a grant and purchased $1,000 worth of graphic novels in print and ebook formats about mental health and disabilities. My library student workers selected most of the books, and our patrons loved them. So much, in fact, that we've adopted these 3 graphic novels for this year's common experience. And with all this connective tissue from reading and researching and collecting graphic novels while collaborating with my colleagues from India and while creating an Aaron's graphic medicine drawing workshop for our common experience, I'm inspired to pick up my pen to finish my midlife graphic memoir, One Gonad Down, to share my story and hopefully help others learn more about endometriosis, infertility, and ADHD.
Comics often use humor or absurdity to counterbalance heavy subject matter. A single image can serve as connective tissue between despair and perseverance, demonstrating both struggle and strength at a single glance. This image, which is a play on a scene in popular culture of Cinderella getting ready for the ball, is part of a project called Inquest. In this variation, the gown is a hospital gown and the character is experiencing a mental health crisis. Images can help us to see and process difficult experiences in a new way. Comics also connect people around shared experience, allowing readers to see themselves represented on the page. That connection can help us shift from feelings of isolation and otherness to feelings of understanding and hope.
Like Erin, for me, visual storytelling provides hope by offering a space to destigmatize discussions on women's health and sexual health for a South Asian audience by connecting fantasy and humor. In my comic on polycystic ovarian syndrome, I transformed 6 Disney princesses who are idealized pop culture icons of beauty into young women who battle PCOS. In the panel here, I have illustrated Snow White's fairness as a symptom of anemia caused by excessive menstrual bleeding. Similarly, in my menstrual-themed tarot deck, I have created a card titled The Fairy Godmother that envisions a gynecologist who guides and protects instead of offering judgment. Snow White's corporeality demands a godmother who is empathetically and medically qualified. For me, self-publishing and independent comics have provided a liminal space for both of my solidarities with feminist art practice and academic scholarship to challenge dominant ideas around the body in moral and medical discourse.
Irrespective of whether one is from the global north or the global south, irrespective of whether one is a researcher, a librarian, an artist, or an academician, irrespective of whether one is engaging with the emotional or the corporeal, the metaphorics or the materiality, the moral or the medical, all of our experiences are predicated on ocular hermeneutics. This becomes a connective tissue for all of us to question the privilege that comes with representation and access. Attempts at problematizing the invisibilization of both the physiological and psychological experiences of women through the medium of graphic narratives initiate a subtle distanciation between body and its embodiment. This subverts social mores and behaviors. The paradox, where the possibilities of narrativization of illnesses is juxtaposed with visuality, evokes a space of active visibilization. Pictorial storytelling has the potential to craft a visual hermeneutic challenge. This power of comics and graphic narratives is used to create an awareness about invisible disabilities.